Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and specifically welcome to possibly the most stupid game you are ever going to see in 2023. And no, I don't mean World of Tanks in general, I'm talking about this round inside the game. So today I'm going to be playing in my 1357, and I'm going to be using vents, exhaust, and coated optics on this vehicle. And yeah, I'm probably going to regret it quite a lot. Didn't kind of want to crash myself off that slope there at the beginning of this game. But the reason why I'm going to regret using this set of equipment is because, while it's definitely going to help me with my scouting and my concealment, I don't really see it helping with making this tank special for what it is. And that is a voracious little French tier 7 autoloader that fires 8 rounds of a 57mm gun. But it only has a 1-second intra-clip reload, which just makes it absolutely wild. You'll have seen this vehicle recently when I was showcasing Wargaming's experimental equipment and how it stacks with a vert stab and a rotation device to basically have no bloom after firing, allowing you to just unload at pretty much maximum accuracy irrelevant of what kind of a distance you are, even with a 1-second intra-clip reload. You can kind of do that even without experimental equipment on this tank. Just take yourself some nice vert stabs and hopefully a bounty rotation device, and you'll still have 40% reduced bloom after firing, even without using a directive. And that can make this thing absolutely terrifying. And I've had some huge games in this vehicle recently. Maybe I'll have to do a bit of an amalgamation of them for you. And I can tell you that this thing is completely overpowered, at least in my opinion, at tier 7, if you are a good player. I can imagine it's quite tragic if you don't know how to make this gun work, and you don't have that kind of like cheekiness of going in. But then again, when I think about it, I have had a few, well, at least what felt like low IQ 1357s just coming after me holding down the mouse button and making my life an absolute pain. But usually when they're inside a good matchup. So I took the vent with the coated optics and an exhaust on this tank to be able to maximize my scouting capacity, because I thought being in the middle of this map was going to be best for my team. I'm going forwards and backwards here, hoping that I can be able to avoid the A and BT, but they managed to shoot me without even getting spotted. It's a bit tricky to spot on this map. It's kind of like a Prokhorovka or a Malinovka in a way. It's just you can't really get close to your opponents. And so it means that unless you have really, really good view range, and you have a commander's vision system, that it's tough to just be able to do this kind of like sit still and spot. I'm not even spotting the Waffenträger there on the enemy team. Looks like the E25 or the Challenger are lighting up that target even for me. And it's kind of a problem with tier 7 light tanks. You're not low tier, and so everybody else starts to get good view range and good camo. So they're going to be able to spot you, and they're going to be able to hide from you. But you can't use a commander's vision system at tier 7, so it's this awkward tier, where if I was tier 8, I would definitely have taken a vision system on this map, and I'd be able to spot my opponent through even some of the more scantily clad bushes. That is, at least if they are large tanks, because even while the vision system is very good, and it will help you to be able to spot, irrelevant of how good the enemy vehicle is with regards to its camo, it's just so much better for those large cumbersome tanks than being able to spot those sneaky ones. Luckily, however, I do manage to get the A and BT, and it looks like I was a bit confused there. Maybe I was going into a bit of a daydream. You know, that kind of feeling when you're just sitting in a bush and you're like, nothing really happening in this game of World of Tanks. Thinking about maybe things that you're grinding inside the garage, thinking about what you can actually do in this game to stop yourself from being bored inside the bush. So far, it's been a pretty normal game of World of Tanks for tier 7. You get forwards, nobody does anything. You get hit, you lose most of your hit points because light tanks aren't very durable and don't have that many hit points to begin with. And then you sit there and you think, maybe I should try and push. Is it really the right thing to do? With 4 minutes gone on this game and just not really too much happening, this is where it's important to show self-restraint. I try to make World of Tanks exciting, not only for Twitch, but also for YouTube. And I think that, you know, some more, should we say, the fast-paced games that are probably going to be a little bit more intense and the ones that people want to watch. This game, however, later on is going to get so stupid that you're probably going to have some kind of heart pains. Probably I should have put some kind of disclaimer at the start of the video, warning this game is so stupid it might indeed affect your health. Luckily for us, we did manage to catch a glimpse at the Waffenträger, and that allows our team, looks like the Challengers using the big gun and the E25 to be able to finish them off. But I feel like now is the time to push because I'm kind of worried about the northern flank, and I'm very inexperienced on this map. Like, I don't even know what it's called. What's it called? Outpost. I do enjoy it. I think it's a really good map. It kind of feels like a larger Mines, and I've enjoyed on a variety of tank types. But it does feel that when you get on these new maps and you don't realize how big the water dips are, that it does take some getting used to. So with the enemy clearly winning the north, it's up to us to be able to push. And luckily for me, it's not only me pushing. My E25 is getting forwards, and here you can see, finally, we actually get to shoot something this game. Wow, it only took about 5.5 minutes. And it's quite hard in this vehicle to sit there and be that chill, because look at how fun this gun is when it gets going, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This 57mm, it might not be very big, but boy does it pack a punch, because it is delivering those rounds quickly. Although each one, as we can see, is only doing 90 damage, giving this a magazine size of 720, which it delivers over 7 seconds. The real thing that people don't consider about this tank is that if you take Deadeye on your gunner, which increases the chance of critting, I often set multiple tanks on fire in a single game, or get multiple damaged ammo racks. The amount of crits that you can do to your opponents is awesome, and I have to admit, for those kind of situations of going in, just right-clicking and holding down the mouse button, boy, the 1357 just feels so darn fun. So the reason why I played this thing so much recently is I think during some kind of advent calendar last year, you could be able to purchase this tank, and if you already had it, for about 250 gold, I think you got like 25 or 50 5x experience missions. And they actually stack with Wargaming's regular 5x experience missions. So what I was doing was taking the 5x experience missions from the 1357, stacking them with the 5x experience missions from, I think, purchasing some of Wargaming's Battle Pass bundles for the Terminator Battle Pass. And you think that that would give 25 times experience. No, it doesn't multiply together. But it will be the equivalent of like 8 times extra on top of the base XP. So it's about 9 times experience with the way that Wargaming's math works out there. And that is huge crew training. I managed to get a new gunner trained up on this crew up to about 5 skills, I think, in the space of about 30 games. Not sure how useful that is, considering that Wargaming are thinking about changing the crew skills this year. But maybe it won't happen again. And considering how powerful they looked and how jeopardizing it could be on the whole balance of the game, I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't happen. Alright, so now the game has accelerated a little bit. We managed to put in 5 rounds, 6 rounds actually against the Scorpion G, pretty much crippling them and leaving them now pretty much about a 3 or a 4 shot for me, and a 2 or a 3 shot depending on what vehicle it is on my team that will be hitting them. This game is razor close. We have a TVP over towards the east, we have a Challenger towards the center. I'm hoping that that TVP is going to maybe try and advance to get into a better position. Possibly they can try and flank them, get involved in the battle, and we have an E25 locked in mortal combat with a Super Conqueror over towards the west of the map. Luckily our E25 wins the duel, but only momentarily, as the dastardly Carnarvon Action 10 finishes off the Tier 7 German premium tank destroyer. So in this kind of a situation, I just don't really feel like my vision is all that useful, apart from at the start of the game. I'm really sad that I bothered to take coated optics and exhaust on this map. Although, to all intents and purposes, if the 1357 on the enemy team, who was in a platoon with a Super Hellcat, had gone in towards the middle, then it will be the light tank that has the vents, the coated optics, and the exhaust that does better than the one that doesn't and takes that damaging setup. And it's one of the reasons why I avoided the middle. And luckily for me, they went into the middle, they got caught out there down. And, it's tricky because I can't really use the vision, but I'm still not too bad. As long as I don't get caught and I still manage to get my shells in, I should be okay. So I'm going to go for this IKV 90B now, and I should be able to finish them off. But oh dear, Carnarvon Action 10. And I can't afford to get caught now. Looks like the TVP or the Challenger puts a shell in, narrowly missing, and oh no, I really didn't expect the Scorpion to be there. And the Scorpion finishes off my Challenger, and things are now starting to look pretty bleak for our team's chance of winning, as the T-34-1, who is not very healthy indeed, is going to get surrounded by the Carnarvon, but I just have to get out of here to hopefully reconsolidate my position and be able to get back into the game. And at this stage, I started to get a little bit suspicious. The TVP hasn't moved in a while, and a lot of people are starting to ping them. And when I took a look at the chat, even though I've been focused up on trying to deal with as much as I can, the TVP says, ready to fire, help, attention to G8. And then the TNH 105-1000 finally says, help TVP, he is flipped. And I say, TVP is stuck? Why doesn't he type? When you're stuck, it's no use just pressing your F7 key. Say something in chat, because lots of people just randomly press their F7 key asking for help. But now I find out that the full health TVP who's been hoarding all of our hit points is actually stuck. So I question why the TVP hasn't been typing, and the TNH 105-1000 says he is shy. And then the TVP presses affirmative, and I'm like, okay? And I say, he is chat banned, XD. So I thought that the player must have been chat banned, and that's why they're not typing. Because you can't type in chat, but you can still press your affirmative keys. And then he says, dick, proving that he is not chat banned. And I was thinking, like, what, mate? What? What, are you angry because I said that you were chat banned? Why are you being a little bit vulgar in this situation? And then it dawned on me that he isn't being vulgar. He isn't actually being mean to me. And that he's actually saying the Czech word for thanks, which is dick. So, yes, I apologize for my pronunciation, all of my Czech bros and sisters out there. But yes, then the TVP, once again, it finally dawned on me at this point where he says dick again. And I was streaming at the time, and I was going in chat going like, hold on, he wasn't being rude to me because he thought that I was saying he was chat banned. He was actually saying thanks, right? And my chat told me, yeah, he's saying that. And so I decide to speak Czech for the first time as well, and I say dick back to the TVP. So thanks to you, TVP. We can do this. And so it was one of my favorite moments of World of Tanks, just like the confusion and the coincidence of the language. And the fact that I thought he was chat banned and I thought he was being... It was brilliant. I loved it. But now, it's time to actually try and win this game, right? As a duck just quacks as we manage to go into the bush. Not even kidding you. Rewind the video and turn your volume up and try and deal with my voice. But you can also hear the quack of... there are ducks. So I tell my TVP, you need to use HP and play. However, considering that they didn't talk for most of the game... I think I'm not really being too useful here. I think that their English probably isn't too brilliant, which is absolutely fine. My Czech is absolutely non-existent, but I'm going to try anyway, just try and communicate and see what they do. So the TVP goes and sits at the back of the map. I'm just hoping that they're going to use their hit points, and I decided with only 2 minutes left, and how much I hate draws inside World of Tanks, well, I might as well take some risks myself. So initially my plan was to go towards the enemy base, and I nearly flipped myself while typing in all caps, do something! Just hopefully anything will be able to get through, and I ping them, getting a little bit frustrated. The TVP is not willing to make any plays, because he's got more hit points than the rest of the team combined right now, pretty much. So they could easily be able to hunt, and if they make the plays, draw the attention of the enemy team, then I'll be able to support them and get stuck in as well. So I was surprised. I mean, in this kind of a situation, there's no point in capping anymore because there's less than 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the game, and the TVP isn't going to be able to go and support me in the cap circle and have 2 of us cap with 50 seconds left. So I'm just looking around, seeing if we can find some tanks, and just hoping that my coated optics is actually going to become useful inside this game, but it's just really not. So I thought, well, they're not in the middle. They're not over towards the east. They don't seem to be towards the west. I might as well just go around their cap circle, and maybe they're camping against us. And oh wait, handbrake turn with 47 seconds left on this game. And there's 2 people inside the cap circle, so they've actually managed to get in time. They will win unless we manage to interrupt. Luckily for me, my friend, Kasav, is now bundling their way back towards the cap circle, and with 30 seconds left, hopefully we're able to save this. But unfortunately, because there's only 2 tanks capping, that means that we're probably not going to be able to win. But wait! A 3rd one enters the cap circle. They are all in there with 18 seconds left. Okay, are you ready for the Mag of Destiny? Here we go. 1 into the IKB, 2 into the IKB with a fire, finishes them off We've got 6 shots left. 1 into the Carnarvon, 2 into the Carnarvon to finish them off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and... oh my lord, it was so painful. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that last shot unable to cheek its way around the corner into the Scorpion G, leaving them on 69 hit points. Not nice. For this ending in this game, we nearly managed to clip out 3 tanks in a single mag in a cap circle if it wasn't for that last shot. So let's quickly recap that, and we'll put it in half speed. So because this tank fires so quickly, you can see maybe we made a misplay. And you can see there clearly the fire, very useful fire there, finishing off. And in this situation, it's like hard. Do I just fire and just take the risks, or do I go for it? And then here we go with 5 seconds left on the game. We come round against the Scorpion, who has fired once. We track them twice into the hull, then into there. And even though I'm firing on reload, it wasn't to be, boys and girls. The last shot wasn't a choke. I just had to fire it and hope that there was some kind of lag or something. What a shame. Maybe if I had noticed that my TVP was flipped a little bit earlier, we could have been able to do something. Although, to be fair, I think we were all just driving around the map, not being able to find each other. So weird, considering there were 5 tanks in quite a small area of the map, just unable to get any kind of view range on each other. And this was the most ridiculous ending to a game that I think I've had in the longest of times. And also one of the most funny moments with my TVP friend here. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was the most stupid game of 2023. No, I don't mean World of Tanks. I mean this round of World of Tanks. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're watching this video as it's released on Sunday, it's time for the World of Tanks Tech Tree Showcase live right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And this week, seeing how the T100LT is now top of the tree, come along and see all of the Soviet light tanks so you can see why they're great, if you feel they're worth picking up this month at a big discount. And so, really looking forward to seeing you all live right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.